very excited to see you playing Simon.
Very
in
excited.
this
Thank you
show.
very much.
He's
Thank you.
one of my favorite characters in the book.
Okay.
When you were first approached about this project, what did you know about the books or the film and this world? And what did you kind of have to do to prep?
Well, when I first found out about the project, it was just the audition. It was just they're revamping the Mortal Instruments movie. They did that, and they want to do a TV show because they feel like that would be they get to explore a little bit more. So at the time, I'd only known of the movie. I didn't know about the book series. But as soon as I got the audition, I was like, I want to know about this. Seems something I'd really enjoy. So as soon as I got the audition, I got the first book.
Okay.
And by the time I was in LA testing, I was almost done with the second book. So by the time I got back to New York, I was done with the third book. And then now I finished the whole series, and I've kind of become a fanboy.
Was there something specific about Simon that spoke to you when you were reading those?
To be honest, it's very personal to me. Reading Simon, I saw a lot of me, a lot of who I was when I was 15, trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, who I was, or who I am, still learning. But Simon had that quality, that amazing ability to constantly love and to constantly give love and not really expect it in return, just hope for it. And to see that in someone, and I felt like that I've done that in my life, and I know a bunch of people like that. It's very fun, very cool to see someone like that and be like, oh, I get to be that guy. I get to be him and know what that's like and go through a lot of experiences with him. So from right away, I was like, this guy, I like this guy. I need to be friends with him.
What can you tell us about how we're introduced to Simon in the series?
We are introduced to Simon as Clary's best friend, her lifelong companion. He's known her. They've been best friends since they were like, I think 6 years old. She moved in next door. And immediately Simon's smitten. And they've been friends ever since. So we're brought into this world knowing him as her best friend.
Okay.
The guy she looks to for everything.
Now, in the books, there's a little bit of a sense that Simon, not that he's weak physically, but he has some challenges like
Yes.
and stuff like that. Is that something that's going to be a part of this?
Yes.
series?
Yeah,
Okay.
Simon, we've pretty much stayed the same in the book. The only difference is we're a little bit older, but he's still very true to who he is. Not weak physically, but I would say just not as confident
Yes.
in his physical capability.
Yeah.
Very intellectual, very smart, still loves music. Music kind of drives him. He's able to express himself very well through music, which is the same in the book.
Yeah.
But that confidence is something I think it's going to be really interesting in the series.
You're going to see some of the band?
A little bit, maybe. I'm not sure yet. I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've definitely had a joke on set where we come up with band names for him. So we have a few that we've come up with ourselves, and I have a list on my phone. So we're hoping to bring that in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, a couple of your castmates have talked about, some of the physical challenges of playing the role and some training that you've all had to do. What exactly have you had to do to kind of get ready to tackle these demons?
Well, the interesting thing was when I first got here, I wasn't part of the Shadowhunter regimen because the Shadowhunters are warriors.
Yeah.
And Simon's the mundane. So I just kind of tagged along to their workout regimen, but as far as the diet was concerned, I got looser restrictions.
Okay.
And I took that upon myself. I was like, no, I still got to look normal. I can't look like a shadow hunter because I'm not. Simon's the chill guy. Simon's the comfortable one. But we've all been going to the gym at least 4 days a week. Sundays we do gymnastics. Start worrying about that. Yeah, the shadow hunters did their own like movement thing to learn how to walk and move like shadow hunters. It's really interesting. But I've just been pretty much the gym and then gymnastics. Yeah. Just kind of took that back around.
So there's the dynamics between Simon and a lot of the characters in the books. Like there's a very kind of almost romantic with Isabel. And I know a lot of people are huge into that relationship. Are you able to tease anything about what the relationship is like initially between Simon and Isabel in this series?
Well, initially, Isabel has the same kind of reaction to Simon as do the rest of the Shadowhunters. This annoying, mundane, who's just getting in the way of them doing their missions.
Okay.
Just as with the rest of the Shadowhunters, Simon's relationship changes with all of them as they grow together through their journeys. As much as I want to say with that, though. Yeah, I think I like leaving. I think that was...
Are you ready for the online fandom that are going to be so invested in all these different relationships? I mean, you guys are already doing such an awesome job with social media, I have to say that.
I mean, that's mostly them. I mean, that's one thing I was really nervous about when I was first cast. Right away, because I'd finished the books, I had a very specific vision of who Simon is, and who Jace is, and who Clary is, and it was amazing to me, as everyone was being cast, to kind of, as I was looking at them, I was like, wow, that's actually exactly who I envisioned as Jace. Like, wow, Dominic Sherwood, perfect. And then, perfect Clary. Like, everything that I'd seen was kind of being laid out for me. So right away, I was like, oh, wait, there are a million other people who've read this book. I hope that I fit that. But as soon as they said that I was cast, the amount of support and love that this fandom has is just kind of blew me away.
Yeah.
Because I went from having 500 followers on Twitter to now having in the thousands, and nothing negative, and they're all just so excited, just like we are, to take part in this world and to show it to everyone, and hopefully it all keeps going that way, because they're so supportive and great. Yeah.
There's a really specific lingo and mythology with this. It's
so rich.
And I'm guessing there's a lot that you guys have had to learn about that too. Just to say some of the lines.
Oh yeah.
With friends and family who may not be familiar with the world, have you come into any circumstances where you're explaining something, they're like, wait, what?
When I was first talking to my parents actually about this, they said, so what's Simon like? I'm like, well, I tell them the first book. And by the time I was in the middle of the fourth book, they were like, so what's going on? I'm like, whoa. All right, so there's this character that comes up who's this. They're like, wait, but who's he related to? I'm like, that's this guy's brother. And they're like, whoa. So as soon as I get past trying to explain, pretty much after the first book, it gets to be too much, and I kind of have to really sand down what I'm saying, really be like, this is what the story's about. That's it. Because there is so much. And, I mean, reading the books and then seeing the lines and having to say the words, like stele, I'd always pronounce it differently reading. So it took me a while to get used to that, to know that stele. I always thought it was, I think I used to call it steel? I don't know, but stele. Yeah. And then you hear it, you're like, oh, that makes so much, I like that way better.
Yeah.
Or parabatai, I didn't know how to say that at all. I would just skim over it when I was reading. But now it's kind of been something that it becomes second nature for us. Like, we all know what runes are. We all can recognize, the main runes that we all have to deal with. And it's kind of fun, because it feels like we're learning with everyone. So it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, we're teaching them at the same time. It's a cool little circle we got.